Hello, my friends. My name is Amanda with Amanda Panda Projects. If you're in the pursuit of craftiness, you are in the right place. Today, I am doing a project that I have wanted to do all fall long. I got this Dollar Tree fall little pumpkin patch sign, and I promised myself I would not pack it up for next year and that I would do something with it. So that I am, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So obviously I took all the letters off. They're just like chipboard, you guys. They came right off super easy. And then what I'm doing here is, you can do this however you want. It might look confusing what I'm doing, but what I'm actually doing is I'm just making templates for each pumpkin because I'm going to cover them in fabric later. So I had to kind of like do a lot of approximating and just kind of trace the outer edge. Obviously, I couldn't trace the inside lines of the pumpkins, so I really just approximated and see how I do little measuring and cutting. However you think it's easiest to do that, or you could just wing it and cut the fabric out the size you think. Either way, do what is easy for you. So see, I made 4 little templates there. And then I'm gonna use those templates and I'm gonna use them to cut out my fabric. So I am using the same fabric that I used for my fall swag banner. I am putting this fabric to good use, you guys. I have done so many crafts with it for I think it was $6 or $7. I got a ton of fabric from Walmart. All really, really cute, and it has lasted me all fall long. All fall long. Ha, that rhymed. So I did a combination. I traced them with my Frixion pen, okay? So this pen dissolves or disappears with heat, so it does not ruin your fabric. So I would cut it, and then I would rip what I could to try to preserve a little bit of the frayed, kind of rusticy, jaggedy, distressed edge. So it's not just like a straight scissored line. So if it go in the opposite way of the fabric, I would have to cut it because obviously it would tear, all wonky, but did the best that I could. And then you're going to see my big epic craft fail right here. When I get to the leopard print one and I put them on, I realize it's freaking backwards. It was backwards. I thought about it. I was like, no, I have to retrace it because I traced it the wrong way. So obviously the fabric's not double-sided. Well, you live, you learn. I was mad because it was a big old piece of leopard print too. I mean, obviously I saved it, but there we go, all traced the right way. And then I wasn't going to paint it, but then I decided because my fabric was so imperfect and was not the exact shape, I thought maybe you would be able to see through a little bit, which you could. So I decided to go ahead and paint it all white. So I just gave it a really rough, messy coat of white. And then my favorite Deco Art metallic gold. I painted the letters gold, and I had to give it a good 2.5 coats because this gold, I do love the color, but it does not cover super, super well. It does require several coats on pretty much everything that I paint with it in order to really get a nice solid gold color. So I painted that a couple times, dried it in between, and then I wanted to do something with the stems. If I had sticks from outside, which I don't have any right now, I probably would have covered the stems with sticks. But because I didn't, I went ahead and I just covered them with twine. I wrapped twine all the way around. So I just used glue, secured a piece of twine on the back to get it started, and then wrap all the way around. And at the end, I did the same thing. I cut it, and then I secured it with a piece of glue. Okay, so I just did that 4 times. It was a little bit tedious, a little bit time consuming, but it was pretty easy. So I cut out the next ones because you don't want to see me wrap the same thing 4 times in a row, but I did do that to each of them. My fingers were hurting after this. And this twine that I have is pretty thin, so I had to wrap it around quite a few times, but once it was all done, it looked good, and I was happy with how it looked. And I took my Mod Podge. I always use the matte, it's my favorite, and I just Mod Podge the fabric down. When you're using fabric, I like to use a good, nice layer of Mod Podge because it almost soaks through the fabric and just gets it on there really, really good. So I added it on there, slathered it on, and then I just applied the fabric to all 4 of my pumpkins. It actually, I had to do a little bit of a patch piece right there because the shape wasn't quite right, but in the end, you couldn't even tell. So I just Mod Podged all of them down. I used the news or book page one, the tan and white ticking, or tan and cream ticking, the sunflower is called Tuscan sunflower, and my leopard print. So I lined that up as best I could. since mostly on the leopard print one, not so much on the other ones, but you could see a little bit in between. So I just decided to divide each pumpkin with a piece of twine. I like the way that it looked. It gave it a little bit more of like a finished look afterwards as well. So I just put a piece of twine in between each of the 4 pumpkins. So 3 pieces of twine total. And then I glued my letters on. I love the way that the fall looks, you guys. You could do this any color that you want, any style, any theme, any patterns to match your fall decor. It could be however you like. You could do traditional fall colors. You could do like black and white pumpkins, however you like. So I glued on a couple of leaves. You can't tell, but those leaves are shimmery. They're from Walmart, and they looked so perfect with this. I made a couple like shoestring style raffia bows. I like my raffia bows like super messy and crumply. I didn't want to do 4 of those. It was a little bit too overwhelming. So I just did 2 raffia bows. And then on the other 2 pumpkins, I ended up doing just twine shoestring bows. And then I had these little sunflower push pins. I just stuck right in the middle, added a couple buttons. And that is it. Voila. I love how this turned out. I think it's just so pretty. It matches my entire living room fall decor. I hope this inspires you to take a Dollar Tree piece and remake it to make it your own. I would love it if you would just share this video with a friend and have a fabulous day.